probably the most popular item of popular television in the 50s. Cheap to produce, live, so there was an element of danger. The games were worth playing, well, they had to be. The BBC wasn't allowed to give away prizes more glittering than a book token. And the presenters then weren't elderly comics interrupting the proceedings with strings of cheeky one-liners. Oh no, back in the 1950s, nobody could have accused Professor Glyn Daniel, presenter of Animal, Vegetable, Mineral, of being a cheeky chappie.
Good evening and welcome to the beginning of another season of Animal, Vegetable, Mineral, in which you are invited and some experts to assist you in identifying objects which come from a museum.
Hello, how are you? All right?
Jolly Dee. Well, we've got a new kind of game for you this afternoon. It's called Ask Your Dad, which is just about explains what the program is.
Now, before I explain the rules of this very simple little game, I'd like to introduce you to our panel. And first of all, we have that famous Lancashire novelist, Mr. Frank Tilsley.
Hello.
Who were the panellists who got these pioneer games to work? Well, it was a new medium, and there was no established pool of telepersons, so an extraordinary cross-section of people was invited to take part, most of whom did something quite different for a living. In the following sequence, you should be able to spot a conjurer, an actress or two, a lady doctor, a handsome mustachioed archaeologist, a schoolboy with impressive ears, an irascible ex-BBC outside commentator, and lastly, a distinguished writer and broadcaster who looked and sounded then like something on loan from the small mammal house.
Top of the table we have David Nixon.
Good evening. Next to him, fresh as they say from her recent Broadway success, is actress Brenda Bruce.
Hello.
Isabel Barnett.
Good evening.
Morton Avila, who has come fresh back from Africa, where he's doing something for hippopotami in Zimbabwe.
I know that you do.
Professor Thomas Bodkin, who's been at home.
I'm Davy Jones. I go to King's Norton Grammar School, and I'm nearly 15.
Radio stalwart of 20 questions, Miss Intuition herself, Anona Wynn.
And then Mr. Hugh Short, who says this is past his bedtime, and how right he is.
Barbara Kelly.
Hello.
And may I say, a little sadly, that this is the last time for some time we'll have Gilbert with us, Gilbert Harding.
We have Frank Muir.
Good evening, girls.
One side effect of the popularity of panel games was the birth of the TV celebrity, somebody who appeared on television so regularly that he or she became famous solely for being famous. It's difficult perhaps to credit nowadays, but in the 50s all viewers more or less watched everything. And what Gilbert Harding growled so rudely on What's My Line was the main talking point next day in train and shop. But there was a negative side to being a TV celebrity, or as I was once called, a TV celibate. Gilbert Harding, an intelligent and sensitive man, fell into despair being so successful at performing such a trivial role in life, and he died a deeply unhappy man. And Lady Isabel Barnett couldn't find her way back to stability away from the screen, and she committed suicide. Now, the common factor of all the great panel games was their simplicity. But as the search for new games to replace What's My Line became more frantic, their rules became more complex to the point of incomprehensibility. In the following couple of tryouts, note the hint of despair creeping into the eyes of the seasoned hosts as they try to explain the rules.
Now, we have two teams, of each team composed of two dads, a son and a daughter. And each team will play against the other to see who wins in the end. Now, I ask each family, as it were, a question, and they're allowed a minute in which to answer. For the first half minute, only the son can answer, and if he gets it right, he gets 2 marks, and Dad can help him only in mime. If the son does not get it, then the second half minute, Dad takes over, and he can't get any help from anybody, and if he gets it right, he only gets 1 mark. But if the family can't get the answer to the question, I'll tell them what that is and give them no marks.
There is only one rule to this program. One rule only. We have the money here, and the money is just for the asking. The rule is that people who ask for the money must not tell the truth. If we discover that a successful toucher subsequently has told the truth, then he or she will be disqualified. Now, the winner, apart from the normal television fees, will not receive the money that he or she asks for, but the winner will go forward to the eventual touching target of £500,000. Losers will get compensatory awards, but the winner can go forward to the next week with a new story and a new fixed touching target, which will become clear as we go on.
Oh, no, it won't. An important element in panel games was that viewers were in on the secret, if they wanted to be, right from the start. This was done on screen by what was then wondrous new technology.
We'll show you now exactly what Mr. Cooper does. That's what he does. That's what he does.
All right, now those of you at home who want to know what our next challenger's name is, eyes open. If not, close them. And there it is.
It's a light brown in color, and Sir Mortimer is just having difficulty in making it stand up. Well, there it is. Now, this is what it is.
Well, now we come to our celebrity spot, and here, of course, we ask them to put on the masks or blackouts or whatever you like to call them. Would our celebrity sign in, please?
Good evening, Mr. Celebrity. Are you in show business?
The grandfather of the more interesting games, those which required some kind of logical progression of questioning, was undoubtedly What's My Line? Dennis Norden and I were on the panel for 6 months, about 80 years ago. The best clue we on the panel got was from the reaction of the studio audience when the guests signed in. After a few weeks, you could detect the difference between the excited "ho-ho-ho" when a famous film star walked in, the respectful and disappointed murmur when it was a politician, the yelp at somebody highly topical, and the delighted titter at some splendid trade, such as the famous saga maker's bottom knocker. The other thing was that we all smoked like chimneys in those days, and when we had to put our masks on for the mystery guest, we couldn't remember where we parked our smouldering fag. But the revelation when looking at a 40-year-old show is quite how superb Eamon Andrews was. Totally professional and in command, but touching it all lightly, and transparently keen for the contestant to beat the panel. Here's a full round of the granddaddy of them all, What's My Line?
Ferdinand Rosenthal, how are you?
Sir?
Thank you. Now, tell me, where do you come from?
London.
London, all right. Have you got a piece of mime ready for the experts?
Yes.
I think just a little bit further down, and that's it. Thank you. Thank you. Now, if you'll just sit down where you are, Mr. Rosenthal, that's fine. And in all cases here, the experts who have to guess what the occupation is will have to guess best way they can. We'll be starting off with Gilbert Harding, but we're going to show you at home, if you want to play it the easy way, what the occupation of Mr. Rosenthal is. If you don't want to know, close your eyes now. I'll tell you roughly when it's off the screen. All right, all clear. We start with Gilbert Harding, and we'll tell you that Mr. Rosenthal is wage earning.
Wage earning? You were using your hand, obviously your mime, weren't you?
That's right, sir.
Were you hoping to make a sound with it?
No.
Nope, not a sound. No, that's one gone. Now, no, we move on now to Barbara Kelly.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, lady.
Mr. Rosenthal, you look artistic, creative, and as though you might kiss a lady's hand when you met her. I hope to meet you afterwards.
There we are.
Very
Thank you.
gallant. And slightly dangerous, too. Is your job artistic in any way?
No.
No? Oh, there I am.
That's two gone. That excludes kissing ladies' hands. Isabel Barnett.
Oh, yeah. Good evening, Sir
Good evening,
Esnell.
lady.
Is it practical?
Yes.
Do you meet the general public?
I do.
Do you go to meet them?
I do.
Do you go to their houses?
Yes, sometimes.
And when you're there, you perform a useful service?
I do.
Yes. Something we could use?
Something you could make use of, yes.
Something we could
Yes.
make use of. Would we be very glad to see you when you came? I'm sure we would.
Ask Barbara Kelly.
Oh, well, Barbara, obviously, she's quite carried away. Is it anything to do with the structure of the house itself?
No.
Thank you. That's 3 gone. David Nixon.
Mr. Rosenthal, Barbara said that you looked as if you could be kissing a lady's hand. You looked as if you could be twisting it off to me. Were you twisting were you twisting something in your mime? Were you
Yes.
turning? You were turning something?
Yes, sir.
Is that something, Mr. Rosenthal, that you take with you when you do your job?
Yes, sir.
The thing you
Wait,
turn?
wait, excuse me a minute. What you were actually twisting, you don't take with you on your job, do you?
He's twisting you, look out.
Yes.
Wait, now, let me just have a discussion. Now, just a minute now.
No.
No. Tell him that. No.
No, sir.
No, he doesn't take that. That's 4
Talk
gone.
to into it.
He doesn't take what he's...
He doesn't take the actual thing that he twists.
I want to come back to this twisting because, you see, I think that we're being led up the garden path here.
Correct.
Here we have Mr. Rosenthal with a delightful continental flavour who makes me think to begin with he's tuning in some musical instrument. He says, no, he isn't. He's not doing anything artistic, not doing anything improving at all. He's wage earning. The work which you do then is the work which you do an ordinary pedestrian job.
Yes, if you call it.
It is. And what about this twisting? Are you employed by a public authority?
Yes.
And are you testing water mains?
No.
No.
No, if he was, he shouldn't be. Barbara Kelly.
We did establish, Mr. Rosenthal, that you did work inside the house.
No, you didn't establish that.
Didn't,
That's
so it's
6
outside.
gone.
Yes.
I didn't say what the answer was. I just said you didn't establish it. So, Isabel Barnett.
Me. And to a Kelly. All right. Well, I don't think we'd better pursue that one, had we?
Lily Kelly.
But
Yes.
he can go to people's houses, he said. And he works for a public authority. Is it then one of the main services that go to people's houses?
Wait, now, what? Oh, I better say yes, then, since they were
Well, you
closed.
know, we have gas, electricity, and water.
But not-
and they all peep in. No, I'm not asking. I'm asking of main services.
Now, wait, now, you say these are the main services, gas, electricity,
Water,
and we're
no.
giving you a little no. That's 7 gone.
So cruel tonight.
It looks like a big no from here. Well, let's get back to the garden path, Mr. Rosenthal, that Gilbert got such applause on. Now, you do your job outside. Can you do your job in a person's garden? Do you sometimes find yourself... Oh, it's paths. No, do you work in... do you ever find yourself doing the job in people's gardens?
No.
No. Unless, well, there is
What
one
about
exception, but we
these?
can't mention
What
it.
about these general services? Gas, electricity, and goodness knows what. They are provided locally. When I said you work for a public authority, you did say yes. Now then, am I right? Now, help me here, my dear Chairman. Am I right in thinking that the public authority for which you work is not necessarily local and municipal?
Yes.
Yes.
It is a wider authority.
Yes.
You work, in fact, for the government.
Yes, sir.
You do. Now then, what government servants go around with these here twitches? I know exactly what you are. I know exactly what you are. You go round working instruments to find out who have not taken out television licenses. Am I right?
No, you're not right.
No.
No, he thought it was a very good thing, but you're not right. No, that's...
Oh, that
Now,
means
change the subject, Miss Kelly. We've got...
I better fast after all that. I'm going to assume it has nothing at all to do with television. Mr. Rosenthal, do you wear a uniform or any different clothing?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a specific route to travel every day? Do you?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to make a guess, because it's the only thing I can think of, anything to do with the postal service.
Now you've got to find what he is, and you've only got one to find out. You've only got one left, and you must try and find what he has to do.
Trying to get the money out of me when things are delivered COD. He's obviously not. Am I right in saying that what is on the card is not just postal?
No, you're not. We walked into that once. There we are. That's the best bit of bluff we've done on this side of the house yet. Got you right off postman. Oh, wonderful. You've beaten the expert.
The Name's the Same was another rather good game. It was in the classic mould of determining by questioning what something was or what somebody did. But it had for the panel an added charm in that we had to guess, for instance, whether the nightclub double bass player standing in front of us was Julius Caesar. He was, as a matter of fact, I remember clearly.
Right now, before we do anything else, we're going to ask those who want to play the game at home to close their eyes. Those who don't want to play the game to leave them open while we show you the famous name of our challenger. Now, just before we start and get on to the subject of your famous name, we'll just talk about you for a minute. What part of the country do you come from?
I come from Chiswick.
From Chiswick? And what sort of work do you do yourself?
Well, I'm a schoolmaster.
You're a schoolmaster. That's very interesting, and it might possibly be of some help, but I hope not. Right. We're ready to start, and now you are your famous self in answering the questions, and we begin with Frank Muir.
Good evening to you, sir. Good evening. Are you a live-o?
No.
Dead-o?
I fear it.
No. Are you, in your dead-o capacity, are you found in history books?
Yes, indeed.
Over to you, Wendy Toy.
Are you, male?
Yes.
Have you been dead longer than 100 years?
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed.
Good. Pass to you, Dennis.
Do you get a certain amount of chi-iking from your pupils on account of your name?
Definitely no.
No. Were you a famous politician?
No.
Were you in the forces? I mean, were you a soldier or a sailor?
No.
Were you a famous artist?
No.
Frank?
Were you a soldier?
No.
Oh, I love this man. I don't need to do anything with a schoolmaster, you see. He's completely on his own. That's 4, Frank.
It must have been something. Were you English?
Yes.
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 He was English, Wendy.
When your pupils heard your name for the first time, would it have covered them in gloom if you'd had to go on about it, if you know what I mean?
Yes, a sort of synthetic gloom.
Yes.
Don't give a thing away, not a thing.
Did you wear tighter trousers than looser ones, or frillier ones than straighter ones?
Well, question of attire is a little difficult. I certainly was rather gaudily attired.
Gaudily?
To you.
Still not giving anything away.
Gaudily. You go rather far back in history, do you?
Oh, yes, but not too far back.
We don't.
You'd better try.
Did you invent or inaugurate anything?
No.
Very good.
Were you a bad boy? Were you, did you get into trouble?
Matter of opinion. I did appear before the Beak on one occasion.
Well, Sheila, you got a straight
Did
answer?
you blow something up?
No.
Frank?
Frank, 2 left.
There goes Guy. You say you were rather... Were you a writer?
Yes.
Well, I think we must be fair about that and give them a good definite yes.
Yes.
I think so. Must be fair about that one.
Yes, I was a writer.
I'm going to plunge straight in for the good of the team as a whole.
Yes.
You weren't Boswell, were you?
No.
You're well in the hole with that one.
Yes.
I wish you were.
As a matter of fact, you're out altogether. Wendy,
How many questions have I got,
you
Bernie?
have 2 left.
Were you alive in the 17th century?
Just.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't need as near an answer as
No,
that.
let's be honest. Elizabeth. We'll put it
No.
to Elizabeth.
I was out of the scene by that time.
Were a lot of ladies in love with you?
I should think thousands.
I should have thought so, but yes,
All right,
indeed.
pass to you, Dennis. That's my last, anyway.
That is
isn't
your
it?
last one, I'm afraid, Wendy. That's 2 out. Dennis and Sheila each have 2. Dennis.
Are you on or about the time of Shakespeare?
About the same time.
You're not being foxy on this. I take it if you're not Shakespeare, I'll say you are Shakespeare.
I thought you were going to win there, Mr. Shakespeare. Thank you very much for being with us. We're sorry we couldn't bring your celebrity along to meet you today.
I'm sorry about that.
Train service from Stratford isn't that good, you know?
No.
There were also panel games for children, and in these Eamon Andrews permitted himself a slight relaxation in his dress code. The bank manager's suit was replaced by a very slightly jaunty pullover. All these panel games were played for all their worth, and there was no letting up of the pressure, even when the players were children.
Now you're going to be handed something in the studio. Will you have a close look at it, take your time, and tell us what it is? And would you perhaps hold it up so as we can all see it?
Can we break it open?
You may do. You may even eat it if you want to. Well, I suppose you can't speak now, David, after that, so...
You have a taste. No, thank you.
there are
Could
two...
it be, those lettuce that hasn't grown? No, look, it's a lettuce that hasn't grown. I've got a taste. Chive.
Now, make your guess. There are 2 points for this.
Could it be a chive? I don't think could it be a lettuce?
Now, I'll have to pin you down to a guess now.
Oh, it could be one that hasn't grown. Felicity?
No, I don't. It isn't.
What do you think it is?
Felicity thought it was a chive.
No.
No.
We don't think it's that. So, could it be a lettuce that hasn't grown?
No, it's chicory.
They don't make children like that anymore. Or programmes of that speed. Not that speed is the right word. One of the slowest TV panel games ever was also one of the most popular panel games ever, Animal, Vegetable and Mineral. The programme now looks as if it was made in another century. Perhaps it was what 18th century television would have looked like. Mannered, polite, and in no hurry at all.
The color of this is white and sort of yellow, orange yellow. And this is what it is. Don't you think we ought to give this one to Daniel too? Or should we give this to Bushnell?
Well, he can pass them on.
When I have him in this spot now, it seems to me the thing. We should start out with it.
They don't smell, although they're horrible little things. I think they're attached to sandals, though for what purpose I don't know.
Heels, you
well,
mean?
Of course, they may have been used in some kind of game, though I don't quite see what sort of game. Both worn on the sandals of players in an obscure game.
You mean like the pom-poms on the Greek
right.
sandals?
Yes, that's it.
Do you like that, Dr. Bushnell?
Not much.
You'd be right, you know.
I don't know what they are. Horrible-looking things. It belongs to some sort of sophisticated people. I suppose it's one of these horrible folk things.
For all of us ethnographers, that's always difficult, isn't it?
Yes. Ritual objects used at Christmas.
Beats me.
Rick, you know them?
No, I don't think I know these chaps.
No idea, Rick?
Yeah. Wait a minute, let me have a look at them.
Somehow it seems to me that ought to be down your line.
Down my line?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think I'm going to give this one up. I don't know.
Well, I think that's probably wise at this point. Actually, you may be awfully surprised at this, but these are boxing gloves worn by fighting cocks.
Yes, yes, yes.
And they come from Lancashire and the last century. You see, these are put on when you're just training your cocks to fight, so they won't hurt themselves. But when you have the real business, the real fights, you have these things put on over the spurs, and then they're really dangerous. But these are to save the cock. I didn't know until this evening that you had cockfights in Great Britain.
I found a kind of charm and innocence in most of those old panel games, which couldn't last, of course. Game shows with big money prizes became extremely profitable to produce, and bingo. Here's a final reminder of what panel games used to be like, and a demonstration that when playing them, a wild, intuitive guess was often worth 20 logical questions.
Right, I think we have time for one more challenger now, so will the next one please sign in? Thank you very much. We sign by shaking hands. I'm getting confused with another program. However, we'll let that go for the moment. We'll let the viewers who want to see your name. Those who don't, close their eyes. Now, do you find this a funny name?
I don't.
You don't? Not in the least peculiar?
Not in the least.
No, that's fair enough. But we're going to start the questioning this time. We'll start with you, I think, Frank. We've gone the circuit.
Do that. Do that. Have you, sir, do be alive. Are you alive?
I am.
Oh, well done. Thank you.
Actually, I should question that.
Yes. Yes. Are you in this room now?
Yes.
Are you on this panel?
I am.
Are you me?
See, as soon as I questioned the fact of him being alive, he knew who it was, without a shadow of a doubt. Yes. How did you know? Just one of those things.
It was that clue, actually, saying yes and no.
Well, I can understand you getting it from that, Frank. Nobody else would have. It couldn't have been anyone else in the panel, could it?
Would you like to meet me?
Yes. After the show, Frank. I'm sorry you didn't beat the panel.
So am I.
Great pity. However, they, after the way they lost the last two, they deserve to win one. I think we give them one more chance, and that, I think, leaves it even, doesn't it, at the moment? 3 and 2, yes. One more chance. Will our final challenger sign in? No, we haven't got time for one more challenger. It's a pity. A nice-looking one, too. One of the best-looking we've had tonight. Anyway, that's all we have time for right now. On behalf of our two panels, Peter Martin and myself, this is Bernard Braden saying thank you for watching and good night.